Hey guys, it's hanging with Ryan and Amy at the water cooler time. So we just wanted to check in this week, and we're going to be talking about a couple different sides of choosing your agent and questions that you should be asking your agents. And so I'm going to pass it over to Amy to start with, and she's going to tell us about working with a buyer's agent. Okay.
Okay, so whenever I have buyers come in, the first thing we do is we have a buyer consultation, and I kind of go over the entire process with each buyer to kind of let them know the ins and outs, what it looks like to go under contract, what kind of money you need to have up front, timelines, best way to contact, all the generalized stuff that you would need to have a smooth process. If you're teamed up with an agent who isn't asking you these questions, who isn't taking the time to inform you of the entire process, you need to consider whether or not you're truly comfortable with that person. This is a huge purchase in your life, and you need to be doing it with someone that you trust, including your lender as well. So we provide lender lists, we provide other resources. People go home with a packet, as nerdy as that is. But we like to make sure that our clients are fully informed and aware of what's going on throughout the entire process. So there's going to be step-by-step guides, everything you could possibly need to understand what kind of purchase you're actually making. So one thing I would just urge people to remember is that when you work with a buyer's agent, for one, we're free, so you don't ever pay us. The person that pays us is the seller or the listing agent, however you want to look at it. And so you can find a lot of buyer's agents that don't feel like they need to fully rampage for their client. So I think it's best if you interview a couple people, or if you find someone you're just innately comfortable with, then choose them. But make sure that you're not just taking the first person you run into. If you're going into an open house and you like the listing agent, and you like the house and you want to put an offer in on it, do consider having someone to work for just you, because the listing agent's also going to be working for the seller. So you want to make sure you keep all of these things in mind so that you're fully covered and that you have someone fully in your corner when you're purchasing your first or second or third or whatever home. So, and then Ryan's going to tell you guys a little bit about things to ask listing agents when you're interviewing them to sell your home.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback off what Amy was talking about from the buyer's side, of course, we do kind of nerd out with this sort of stuff. So, the packet that Amy was talking about, we have key terms in our packet. Mm-hmm. As boring as that might sound, and I even joke about when I'm in my buyer consultation, hey, if you're having trouble falling asleep at night, just go ahead and turn back to these pages, and they'll put you right to sleep. But in reality,
bathroom reading material,
right? But in reality, there may come a time through the process where you're like, oh wait, they told us about this, and I can't recall. Of course, you can always reach out to us, and we can answer those questions. But then again, it's about providing those tools and resources to you up front. And then the other thing is, like Amy was talking about, this is the biggest purchase of your life. Mm-hmm. For most people, and it doesn't matter how expensive a home you're looking to purchase. This is also a team effort, and so I always tell folks when I meet with them up front that, hey, this is the start of the process. This is the start of us building our team.
Right.
We're the beginning, and then we're going to bring more people into this team as we move through the process. And the thing with that is, if at any point someone's not working well on that team, we'll replace them. But then again, I joke because I'm like, the only people you can't replace are myself and Diane, who's our director of operations. So, but really, guys, it's really important to just ask questions, okay? Because that's ultimately what we're here to do. We consider ourselves consultants. Right. Yes, we are licensed realtors in the state of Oklahoma, but we're really there to consult you. So it's just extremely important. And then from the listing side, we actually wrote down some questions a while back. And it's not, yes, we want you to know about the fancy stuff, our average days on market, our average sell price to list price. That's all fine and dandy, right? But there's some questions here that we came up with that I definitely think should be asked. And the first one is who will you be interacting with and be responding to your inquiries on a consistent basis? So again, we're a team here, and when we list houses, this is a team effort. We've got Diane that helps us out with that. But up until we go under contract, we remain that point of contact.
Absolutely.
Whereas even with other teams and some individual agents, you may have trouble getting to them or getting questions answered in a timely manner. And as we know in this business and through this process of selling houses, time is of the essence, and more times than not, those questions have to be answered pretty quickly.
And it's stressful for a buyer or a seller to sit around and not get an answer.
Absolutely.
Especially, like you said, with today's market, right now homes are selling really quickly a lot of the time. So buyers are in more multiple offer situations, or a seller has a timeline, and getting that offer is very important for them to meet that timeline. So you have to have someone who's going to be responsive to your needs. And if they can't be, for us, we have someone who also can be. Right. So there's more of us to serve you.
Yeah. And actually that leads into my next question, which is what kind of response time can I expect to calls, emails, texts? Mm-hmm. And not just messages from me as the home seller, but also inquiries from prospective buyers. So they know we're going to have other agents reaching out to us about their home. Maybe we do get a sign call or Facebook message or some email about their property, and they want to know that we're going to answer that in a timely manner. What is the agent's negotiating style when an offer is presented?
Right.
We're very upfront with our personalities,
mm-hmm.
and I think obviously we like to think that people appreciate us for that.
Yeah.
Not everyone's personalities work well together though, so that can be a conflict sometimes, and it's okay if that item alone maybe it doesn't bode well for that working relationship. But that's a great question to ask. Then we get, like I said, what's the average days on market?
Right.
Who are 3 to 5 of your recent clients that I might contact to learn, about their experience working with you? Mm-hmm. So to that, our business, of course, is mostly driven by referrals, and we're super thankful for that. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean, though, that we don't get clients that maybe weren't a referral. Again, maybe they found us on Zillow or mm-hmm. social media or somewhere. And I would love for someone to ask me that question, because I am more than happy to give them 10 of the last people that I've worked with, and I'm sure Amy's the same.
Yeah.
Because we are confident that we have a pretty good satisfaction rate going for the people that we work with.
Right.
Okay. And then the last one, this may sound like a strange question or an obvious one, but who's going to be at the closing table with me? Right. Again, not all agents attend their closings, which, you know what, to put it bluntly, that's payday for me. So I'm gonna be there. But more importantly, that's a day of celebration. After all of the stuff that we've gone through in the 30 to 45 days it's taken us to get to closing, there's ebb and flow, there's hills and valleys through this process. Why wouldn't we want to be there on that final day to celebrate with you guys? I can't miss the closing.
It makes me uncomfortable.
So those are just a few of the questions and real simple elementary type questions for you guys to ask. And those questions can also flow over to the buyer's side, like mm-hmm. Amy was saying.
You need to know what they expect from you and what you should expect from them.
Yeah.
It should be an interview process. And I mean, even if you only interview one agent and you decide, I'm so comfortable with this person, they make me feel secure, they've been very explanatory, I feel great. That's great. But make sure you're asking those questions. Come prepared. If you're going to sell your house, you're paying someone to sell your home for you, to negotiate terms for you, to put your best interest first. So you need to make sure it's someone that you understand and that you're comfortable with. There's no reason to just, put yourself in a situation, which speaking of that, shortly, I just had a situation not too long ago where I had a client call me and they were like, well, we're putting in an offer with another agent, but we don't know what offer we're putting in. And we don't really understand how this is working, and I don't know what the contract means. And in my mind, I was very surprised because I figured that she would have explained all this to them, but they met this agent randomly at an open house and just went with it without asking any questions. So I didn't end up working with these people. It didn't turn out that way, which is okay. I'm glad they worked everything out with her because they started it with her, and I think that that's just ask the questions. So just goes to show you, though, that you have to be questioning while you're doing this process, regardless of your experience. I mean, if you don't know what's going on, say that. I don't know what's going on. I need you to explain this, because this is your money and this is your home. So do whatever you can to get the best, most wonderful service you can out of the agents you end up with.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, a week, 2 weeks until our next video. We don't know. We're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can. But when you watch this, leave a comment or a thumbs up or some type of interaction just to know that we want to make sure that this time is valuable for you guys.
Right.
So please, any feedback you have, we'd love it. Have a great weekend. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much. And we're thankful for you guys. So we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.